Hi, welcome back. This is the optimization video. So right away, once you're done with your website, after we've made all of our, our mobile versions of our images. Let me just make sure we got. Do we have mobile versions? I think we got mobile. We'll find out if we don't. I'll tell you that. So I'm just going through making sure. I don't think we need mobile versions of these. This is 600. That should be fine. So what we do now, let's get rid of it, is we need to convert them to WebP. I use cloudconvert.com and I select all of my images to be, see, here's my other videos. I select the images that I want. So like, if I wanted to do this about one, I select this, convert it to WebP. If you sign up for an account, you get like 25 conversions a day. After that, I think you get to pay. But, I mean, it's great value. So after we get that, we download the result. And since it's a WebP, it's going to open up in a browser. So you're going to save as. And Phmta images. So it looks like I already got some. I already have some WebPs. Neat. So it's, about. Right. Let's close that. And now I have about, and I have about HTML document. That's a WebP. I got a bunch of these in here, so you guys use this. I use my own, so I have this converter that I had made from a colleague, and we're going to. It only works with PNGs, and there's a couple caveats to it. So let's take all of this. Hey, Nicholas, Mike. There, that's the other one. So remove you, remove. I'm just going to select everybody except for my PNGs and my SVGs. All right, we got everybody. Cool. So make a copy. I want to paste them in there. And then what's going to happen is here's where they all get converted. But the only caveat is it adds a JPEG at the end of it. So I'm just going to. It's easier to do this than it is to download them individually from the cloud computing place. There, now that they're, gotta wait for them to get done. Can't rename them until they're done. All right. So I just gotta go through and I just gotta rename these. Someday, if things get crazy enough for me, I'd like to build, or pay someone to build me a WebP converter that just does bulk conversions like this, and keeps all the same names, and then I just literally just drag and drop it into my folder. That'd be nice. I have yet to find a service that does that. So until then, it's honestly just easier for me to do this. So someday I'd like to do that. Have a bulk WebP converter that also does PNGs. That you could just drop them all in there, convert them, and just to have it spit out a zip file of all of them. If any of you know one, please feel free to comment and let me know, like, hey, this already exists. You don't have to do anything. I'd appreciate it. Save me a lot of time. Before I used to have to convert these one by one, and that was a pain in the ass. And I found this other cloud converting service, whatever, and they let me do. I think they let me do like 5 at a time, right? So I have to throw 5 in, download each one of them individually, and save it, and then I have to delete them all and upload another 5. It's kind of annoying, but that's one of the better ones I've seen, and you get like 25 free ones, and a lot of times that's all you need. But for now, I just do this that my coworker made. Cool. All right, so now I take all these, highlight, and I just drop them in. And now I have all my WebPs. So what I need to do now, I'm going to clear this out. So now you're going to see the process. I have to do my PNGs. So one, actually I don't need this. I just need these two because I have these turned. This was turned into a SVG by my graphic guy, and I already included it. So these are my only PNGs. We're going to convert these suckers, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. Close, download, open, save. Remove this silly one that doesn't belong there. Now save. Like, imagine doing this for like 50 pictures. This is very time consuming. You better have a solid Spotify playlist if you're going to try and do this in an evening. That'll get you through it. Okay, so now that we got those done, the next thing I got to do is optimize my SVGs. So Svg Compressor, I use this one. So we're going to open an SVG. This is the credit card one I downloaded, right? So it goes from 1.26 to 1. Great. Save. CC1 done. So we do this for all of our SVGs. It just removes excess space, things that aren't needed. Like this one, it's 80% of its original size now. Great. I mean, these things aren't that big anyway, but every little bit counts. And this is part of the, the grueling process that I go through to make sure my website's page speed scores are, top notch. Yeah, optimize everything, including your SVGs. So let's see, I got this one. I think email, I think that one's already done because that was part of my, I don't know, email white. Okay, we can still get a little bit. Let's see if Facebook's got, I'm pretty sure I optimized this. Oh no, that's the Facebook red. I want white. Okay, no, I can still keep going. Apparently I didn't optimize those. And then I know we got YouTube. Okay, logo black. See, that's the logo that I had made. Looks like a little bit. There we go. Save. I know this looks annoying to watch me do, but hey man, this is me, I'm working. I think I already did these. Violin. I know violin is one. Wow, that's huge. Download. Let's get YouTube. I know that's another one. And like the sun and all that, I don't use it. Okay, so now we did that. To optimize those, now I have to compress all of my images, and I use compressor.io to do this. I pay $50 a year, and I can compress a lot at a time. So we're gonna take all these, and we're gonna remove all the SVGs. Okay, so now it compresses WebPs too, so we're gonna compress everything, and you're gonna see these are gonna go from what they were before to what they are now. So this was, 429, 153 now. 294, 100, 87, 33, 65 for mobile, down to 11 kilobytes, and that's just JPEG. Now when we do, it looks like this one's even smaller. Well, this is about the same size, but they load faster. WebP images, like WebP JPEGs, I think they load like 1.5 times faster, and WebP PNGs load like 2 to 2.5 times faster than normal PNGs. So, a lot of times they are smaller than their JPEG or PNG counterparts, but where they really shine is that they load faster. It's not so much about their file size, it's just how those files are being delivered. So yeah, we saved 10 megabytes on all our images. Gigantic. Like from 56 to 9. Like, come on. So we're gonna open these up and we're gonna extract all. Here's all our images. And what we're gonna do, so here's all my images. I want to take all of them and remove the SVGs. We're gonna copy, and then I'm gonna add a folder in here, uncompressed. So just in case, like some of them come out a little grainier, I'm going to, I could just recompress it, but like increase the quality of the compression. So now I'm going to take all of these images and they're going to override. Boom. So now we've compressed all our images and converted them to WebP. Now we're going to .jpg. So everywhere we see JPEG now, I'm going to put WebP in the picture elements. This JPEG stays because it is the fallback. So if the browser doesn't support WebP, then just use this. So now I got to go through and do all of these. All right, PNGs. I'm just going to do WebP here. And you get a WebP, you get a WebP. And that's it for that. Right here. And we got down here. I think that's it for you. Resources. Membership. About. Yeah, this is exciting, isn't it? Sorry, but this is the job. Okay, that's done. Verifications. And yeah, I could have done these along the way, but then it's like I'm skipping steps for you guys. I always just like to save the image stuff for the end because I like to see it. Like I just want to get working, I don't want to. Like, okay, I got all my images. Now I gotta do this. Now I gotta convert them all. I just save it all for the end. Okay, so now we did all of that, and up here. So what's our landing image? We got landing M. So here is our preloads. Landing M. So one of the tricks to getting a 100 is you preload the mobile image for your landing section. This helps improve page speed, and then you also preload the fonts and the font weights that show up on the landing page. This improves their loading, and it makes them more accessible faster. So this is just telling the browser, like, hey, focus on this shit, right? This is the big stuff. So doing this alone right now, copy this code right now, and this should be in the headers of all of your pages. So now I got to go to these. So like teachers. What's the image here? It's going to be events landing M. Okay, so up here we change this to events landing M. Okay, resources. What's the image? It's events landing M again. So we're going to change that to this. Membership. I think they're all the same. Events landing. So we're just going to change all this to make sure we got it covered. About, what are you? You're going to be banner. And then certifications, you are events landing M. And we're loading the WebP version, by the way. Events landing, cool. We're just going to paste that here. Events landing. And last but not least, events landing. Okay. So now that we've done all that, there's also another trick that you're not. I just learned about this trick literally yesterday. And it's down here. Defer CSS loading. So if you have a bunch of style sheets that aren't needed right now, this is what you do. So like my dark CSS, this sheet, I don't need it when the page loads. I don't. So we paste this into here. And what this does, I take this. This is the path. So I put the path here. I can remove this. And what it does is it says, all right, onload this media all, this onload null. So it's like it's holding off loading this until onload is done, until like loading is done. So when loading is done, then we can load this. So if you ever get that hit on Google page speeds where it says took too long to load resources, blah blah blah, and you see it's one of your style sheets, this is what you do. And I didn't do it here, but I'm thinking about trying this for in my next couple builds. So let's look. So like this landing section, right? I think the landing section and the section below it. If you just take the CSS for this and put it in its own CSS file, like critical.css, that's the CSS that is only critical for the loading of the landing page. And what this does is, the CSS, that CSS will load. And then we, so like my local.css for my homepage, this is a pretty large file. So I'll try it later. If I need to, I'll do it. But what you do is you'll do this again. You'll do this style sheet. It'll be, local will go in here, and then you're going to have like a critical.css here. And that critical.css is going to have all the CSS that you need to make this landing section, right? And it's just going to be that landing code. Excuse me, I almost burped. It's just going to be this. So when we go to local.css, it's literally just going to be this. that it'll be that one file with this, and it will load that, and it'll hold off loading the CSS for the rest of this the website. And this is a lot of CSS, right? So if we can hold off on loading this, that increases our page speed significantly. So that's another really neat trick that you can do to increase your page speed, is to rip out the critical CSS to load the landing page, like the section that is loading in the window. Separate that into its own CSS, and then defer the loading of the main CSS until after the whole page is loaded. So that is a very sneaky way to do it, and that's something I just started getting into lately. So we get our preloads, and then we defer loading for non-critical CSS, and let's put our title here. Oh, no, I don't need a title now. I'll do that another time. So we got our SVG for the moon. The sun is cool. Let's just do sun. We got our decoding async on basically all of our images. I think we're good. I think we're good to go. So now what I'm going to do, just to keep this video in the same, I'm just going to sign into my GitHub really quick. So what I do first here is I just, I change directories into my desktop, right? And then I cd change directories into my web folder. And I change directories into a ph into that one. And then this is where I do git init, initialize my empty Git repository, and then I hit git add dot, which is git add all, and then I go to git commit -m for message, first commit. So this is my first commit, and then I commit that. And then what I do is I go to my GitHub. Just a second, it's private stuff over here. And you're going to see it. I'm going to hit new. So here we are at new. This is Phmta. I'm going to do private, so nobody can access it. And then we're going to create repository. Now what we do is we take this code. We're going to right click and copy. And we're going to go back to our terminal. I use git bash. Here it is. And then we're just going to paste this here. And then after we have that, so that's basically saying, okay, we're going to add this repository to it. This is where it's going to go. And then I do git push -u for user origin master. So this is pushing to the original master branch. When I do that, I'm going to ask for a key. I don't have a key, so I hit enter. Oh my God, she is lighting me up right now. This is my wife. With text. So while that's going, what I do now is I go to netlify.com, log in, and then I do a new site, import existing project. Let's wait for this to finish up. So I have my GitHub linked to my netlify. And once this is done going, so this is uploading the GitHub right now. And it's taking forever. Come on. Oh, this is the longest it's taken in a while. Usually it's like, I don't know, maybe like 30 seconds. But this one is just taking a sweet time. And boom, done. Okay, so now we go to GitHub. And I'm going to take this out of the window because it's got all my GitHubs. Don't want to accidentally show too much. And we're going to choose the GitHub repository that I made. And where are you? It's in alphabetical order, so MNOP. Okay, I gotta go another page. Phmta, there you are. So now we found Phmta. right? And then we're just going to do deploy site. That's it. Now it's live. So we go to site settings. I'm going to change the name to Phmta. All right, and that's my new site name. Instead of being that random one, it's going to be that one. And then I immediately go to build and deploy. I go to asset optimization, disable. So it's disabled by default. And then I just remove bundle CSS because that actually makes it, that bundles all your CSS into one file to minimize HTTP requests. However, we don't need that because we have so few HTTP requests because we are not using third-party scripts or frameworks or libraries or and our HTTP requests are so freaking low. This will actually hurt us. So, and then this will also minify my CSS, minify my JS, and bundle them. And it'll compress my images, but they're already compressed, so that's not going to do anything. So save. And then we do that. And then I go to my forms and settings and usage, and then I go ahead and I add the email. So I always add mine so that I know the email's working when they get emails. So there you go. That's how you add your email. And now it's working. That's it. That's all you got to do for emails. Because it has a netlify attribute on my form that I copied. Where's contact? There. No, there. Right here. Data netlify equals true. Actually, I'm going to remove this because we don't have a CAPTCHA. So you add this attribute to your form, and netlify just picks it up. So, so we get all this extra stuff that we don't need. So I got to actually close out. Now I got to reopen it. Close. So when I see all that extra stuff that has nothing to do with it, I know I have to close it out. I made that change to contact, so I removed CAPTCHA, and I have Git integrated with my VS Studio, so I can push here. I can commit and push right here. It's pretty neat. So I was really hesitant when Microsoft acquired GitHub, but it's been pretty good. So now we go to site overview. This is our website, and it's live on the internet. There it is. See. So now what I do is I take this, I go to PageSpeed Insights, enter that sucker in, and then we just sit back and wait. I'm anticipating at least a 98, unless I really screwed up somewhere. So we'll see what this is. $99. Okay, that's cool. We'll take a 99. So what do we got here? Render blocking resources. See, local. Okay, this is a great opportunity to try this shit. So we're gonna do it. This local CSS, because it's huge, right? So it's taking up some time. So screw it, let's do it. So I'm gonna do. We are going to create another CSS. It's gonna be new save critical.less, right? And now we have to make Koala watch it so it can compile to regular CSS for me. And so we're going to take our landing, and that's enough. And we're going to paste that here. Save. And you go to up here. So critical.css, okay? And then we do this, we take this again, and we change the file path to be local. And then we remove that. And let me just make sure this still works. Okay, this still works, so that's still good. Okay. And then I'm not going to do animations on this, so let's remove this because that's also causing problems. So let's just remove that. This is the animate on scroll library. It's a library I use to do on scroll animations, um, like um, like this one. See these on scrolls? That's what the library I use. It's very lightweight, but it's still it still carries a little baggage, but it looks nice. So that's animate on scroll. I'm not going to use that for this set. We don't need it. So now with that, we're going to it's just a test. Let's see if it works. Push, and now we're just going to wait until it's ready. So ph. Wait, where is that? I know I can't find the page where it was on. Did I close it? There it is, page speed. Okay. So let's give it a second so that it can hit the Netlify servers, because Netlify is gonna keep checking GitHub, and when it sees that something went in there, it's like, okay, well, let's load this now. So let's give it a shot. let's see if this worked. I think this is a good one to try it out on, because now we saw the error, we saw the problem, and let's see if this fixes it. Okay, let's try again. Maybe that was a weird one. That was a weird one. When it drops that low, that's weird. There it is. There it is. 100. And you see we don't have that problem anymore. The only problem we have now is the deferring. So like the logo black, it's not lazy loaded. Because it is it's above the fold. But can we lazy load it? So yeah, there we go. I mean, once I did that, there's literally nothing else for me to do. I have 100, and the only thing I did was that CSS thing, and that freaking worked. Wow, that was cool. So it's just accumulation of things. We download and locally host our fonts. We preload them. We preload the landing image. We make all of our background images picture tags that we can lazy load. We use WebPs for everything. We use people on Fiverr to turn our SVGs into to turn our logos into SVGs. That is a huge one, because you have to load a PNG on your mobile site, and a lot of times if you make the PNG too small, it's going to be really grainy and pixelated. So you have to have larger PNG images that can still look good while being shrunken down, and that's going to bog you down. That's going to cost you points. So might as well pay some guy in Indonesia $20 to turn your SVG into a logo. And I say that because I have a guy in Indonesia that charges like $20 to do SVG graphics, and I use him on every client, and I tip him like $20 every time. So, because I know that'll go a long way where he's at. He's doing great work, and he helps me out a lot. So I'm like, I value your work, so I'm doubling your salary, your rate. But yeah, that's who he made this for me, right? And it just looks so much more crisp. It's significantly lighter and easier and faster to load. So yeah, this is done. This is now a 100 website, and I didn't have to do anything. Like if you just build the website like I built it, it's gonna come out 100. And God, that sneaky CSS loading trick. That I'm impressed with that. But let's just because I don't like seeing errors, let's lazy load that logo black that it doesn't like me having. Right, I think it's right here. And that's the one. So let's lazy And let's just see if that causes any problems or if that improves anything. So after we check that, I don't like to see any. I don't want to see any of these, right? This is about it. This is about as light as you can get it in terms of diagnostics. So like these are causing some cumulative layout shift. There we go. So the one way to fix this is because the text that's loading initially by the browser, the system default font, is different than this one. So when this font eventually gets loaded, sometimes it's bigger or smaller than the original font. So the way to do this is you play with the line height. You make it smaller or bigger, and once you have it to where it takes up the same amount of space as the default font, the default system default browser font. That's a lot of freaking words. So the system default, when that loads, it's a certain height. And when your new font loads in, like, oh, hey, we're changing the font, it's actually going to be this. If it's bigger or smaller, then it's going to cause a little shift. But if you can adjust the line height to where it's the same height, if you have to make it bigger or smaller, and it's the same exact height, then you don't have that CLS. So let's just try that and see if that let's see if that has any effect. I'm going to make it bigger. So here, it's our H1. So our line height is 1M. Let's try 1 point. CLS test. And if making it bigger makes the content layout shift bigger, then we know we have to go smaller. So, normally this is so insignificant I wouldn't even deal with it, but this is the optimization video. And I want to show you, like, when you run into these things, I want to show you how to fix it. So we showed you how to fix that large CSS resource thing. That was the problem. And we fixed that. We're going to fix this deferring. It wants us to lazy load it because it's not being seen. Is basically what it's saying. Like, hey, you're not loading this. Why aren't you deferring it loading? Like, it's not on the screen when we need it. So just lazy load it. Okay, fine, I'll do that. And now I think it's an ample amount of time for Netlify to pick up everything. So let's rerun it. Let's see if that lazy loading thing goes away. Let's see if the content layout shit goes away. Do it again because 88 is absolutely ridiculous. What's the thing with these page speed, man? Like it like varies wildly. Okay, so we still got our content layout shift. We don't see that anymore. So let's make it bigger. Let's try 3. CLS test. So we don't have that warning anymore for the lazy loading image. We don't have any more blocking. We don't have any blocking time. This is like probably one of the lowest speed indexes that I've had in a while. Usually it's like 1.1 or something. These numbers are all fantastic. It's like everything is loading instantly. And if you want to get like even crazier, there's another thing you can do. It's inlining your critical CSS styles. So instead of waiting for it to load the CSS to do all the things you need to on your landing page, you add those inline in the HTML so that it just loads instantly as the HTML loads. Now that is how that's like an even further step of optimizing. Let's give this a shot. Maybe it should have loaded by now. Let's see. If it's an 88, it's just like, come on, Google, give me a break. See, I don't get this. Like, it's freaking out over what? What is this? Girl playing piano. Yeah, it's like sometimes it freaks out. I don't know why. Let's try it again. What? It doesn't 88 again. Maybe there's something wrong. Okay, 98. Okay, so that made it worse. So we need to make it smaller. So let's do 0.9. Let's do 0.85. Let's try that. So the CLS got significantly worse. And we had some blocking time. Our speed index hit up. It's like, you know, these page speeds, man, they're not that. It's like it's almost annoying sometimes how unreliable it is. Let's give it a second for it to pick up. Let's see if that's enough. Because after this, then I'm going to go to final checklists. Like we're going to validate our HTML again with the 88. We're going to validate our HTML. We're going to add favicons. We're going to do a sitemap. All right, what the hell? You know, I think a problem is I think we're deferring the dark mode styles. Like, I think we can load the dark because, like, I think the moon and stuff, that's part of the dark.css. So I'm gonna put y'all in here, and we're just gonna defer loading on the local. So it's 88 test. Let's see if that fixes that nonsense. Push. Oh, excuse me. Drinking a cherry Dr. Pepper right now, so it's a little gassy. Okay, so we're gonna let that take hold. Maybe that's what's causing my problems. It's like maybe when it's trying to load, sometimes holding off on loading that dark.css is preventing the moon from loading, and it causes that massive CLS shift. Okay, we got 100. We're back to 2. Let's go even smaller. So if this doesn't work, then I'm just going to ignore it. But let's go to 6.5. I mean, we're still at 100, so it's like, what's the point? But I'm just trying to show you how it works. And honestly, it's nice to see it a 0, right? That's what you want to see. So let's give that a second. Let Netflix pick that up. And let's try it out. I swear to God, if you give me another 88, I think I'm just going to stop. 100. It's still at 2. Maybe it didn't pick it up. So while we wait for that, for favicons, I use this. It's real favicongenerator.net. I already have one in there, but how this works is you take your favicon. Let's say, let's just make this one, right? Whatever. All right, doesn't like that one. Great. So let's just select the favicon we already have. All right, see, there it is. We scroll down, and we generate. Generate. Come on. All right. So we wait for it. It's going to generate all the favicons that you need. And this is the code you need. And you'll notice this is in all of my websites. It's up here. Right here. So it's like all my pages, excuse me, already have this code. So all I have to do is download my favicon package. And then I literally take all of these and I dump them in my root directory. And the root directory is the most open one. So it's like, this is my project folder. This is the root directory. Everything else is a folder inside of it. This is the outermost folder. There's nowhere else to go. This is it. This is as high as you get. This is the top of the mountain. That's the root. So it's already in there, so I don't need to do that. But that's how you do favicons, and you just dump them all in there. It's great. And now let's try this one more time. And let's see. Okay, CLS, it's like it's still there. So yeah, we're just gonna ignore that then. It's whatever. We got 100. We got great average scores over here. There's literally nothing else you can do. So now that we did that, once we get the site live, it's not live yet. But what I do is I use the Sitemap Generator. I use this one. It's at xml-sitemaps.com. You just take so what's it, Phmta? So you just take your domain, you put it in here, you start, and it'll go through. It'll crawl through your site, and it'll grab all of the website pages, and it'll create a sitemap for you based on that. And then so you got 13 pages. View, and it crawled. It found all of my pages, even my my forms. So then we scroll up, download our sitemap. Right, open up my folder, and then what I do is I take this and I dump it into my root directory. Again, root directory. You should get used to that. So I don't think I have one in here, so I just take this sitemap, bump it in here. It's got a 3 on it. Remove it. It's just got to be sitemap. All right. Boom. Sitemap done. And then the next thing you do to make search engine, the Google Search Console, make it easier. Set up your Google Analytics. Grab the analytics code, pop it in all of every web page gets their own analytic code, and put it at the bottom of your head so that it's the last one to load. And there's a neat trick. Where is it at? Here we go. Asynchronous Google Google load. You can find this. Google, you could search it. Google provides it, but you just put the thing here. That's your Google Analytics tag. You put that in there. Put this at the bottom of your head, right above your title tag, and this will asynchronously load. So not only will it not render block because it's at the bottom of everything, but it will also asynchronously load. So it won't render block. It will just load at the same time. And that will minimize the impact that Google Analytics has on your website page speed. Once you do that, you go to the Google Search Console and you create a new property. And then, so like if I go to mine, I can't show you exactly mine because it's got a bunch of other clients' information on there. Let me see if I can do it. Add property. Okay. So what you do is that you go to add property right here. Now, when you paste in your property, if you already had Google Analytics attached, it'll recognize that and it will take that as verification. And then it'll take you to a screen, and you basically go to the. Let's see. I want to click on one of my properties. Yeah. Here, you go to the URL inspection, and you type it. You put in your URL up here, right, to be inspected, and that's how you submit your website to be crawled. Like you put that in here, and then there's gonna be a button or something to request indexing. It's gonna be like right up here, and then you add your sitemap here. You just type in that sitemap that you just did. You just do sitemap.xml, and then you hit submit. And then that you just submitted your sitemap to Google Search Console. So that's great. So this is done. This is done. And now I use a service called Dr. Link Check. So we're going to take this and we're going to use the doc. I add a project. I ignore robots.txt, create. So it'll go through my site and it'll tell me if I have any empty links or 404s. And there's a few of them that I know I'm going to have. But this will show you any ones that you missed. Because if you want good page speeds or a good ranking, you got to have no 404. So it looks like it's done. So the only one I have is, oh boy, no, I wasn't expecting these. So what the hell is this? Fonts Noto Serif. Okay, do I have the wrong? Okay, I got, oh my god. Yeah, all my pages have the wrong thing. So see, good thing that caught that because it should be Roboto. Let's go to fonts and Roboto regular WAF 2. Copy relative path. I'm going to paste that here. Boop. And also, I should preload the Gisasio or whatever because that's also on the page. So Gisasio, I think it's bold that we have. Copy relative path. Put that here. Change these backwards to forwards. Okay, and now what I got to do is I gotta, damn it, I gotta go through all my pages and I gotta fix that. So at the top, that's what it should be. That's what it should be. So this is the only drawback to not having a, you know, a lot of times you can use PHP to have one header that you edit for all of them, and then when you make a change to it, it changes on all of them. But we can't use PHP for static sites. That's a server-side language. So that's the only drawback is you have to copy and paste all of your headers and footers. And whenever you change one, you have to change them all. But I mean, it's a very small price to pay for the benefits of having a static site. All right, so that's cool. Now, where's this one at? Details. It's on critical and local. So it's not loading. Interesting. It's in the CSS. Critical. In my look. Oh, I have this background image. Oops. Yeah, we're not doing that. As far as I'm aware. Yeah. Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to make this parallax. So, on 1300 hero, I'm going to set the picture to display none, and then I'm going to set the background of the hero be landing, not landing M, but JPEG. JPEG, I don't care. This is desktop. These things can load like anything. And then background attachment fixed. So what that's going to do is it's going to allow, you see that effect? It's like it's gliding on top of it. I want that. So we're going to keep that. And that should fix that. So now we just got to fix local. And in fact, we don't even need this because it's already in critical. So we got it here. So this is just redundant. And let's see, fixed 404. Boom. Okay. So there, that was fruitful. So now we fixed all of our dead links and we found out where they were. And now we're going to do Validator. Let's check our HTML. I go to more options and I like to see the source. So let's see where we fucked up. Let's see if we made any mistakes in our HTML. And that's okay, that's fine. I'm going to put that in later. That's fine. I'm going to put that in later. not allowed as a child element button, suppressing errors from the subtree. Not allowed as a button. Not allowed as a button. Okay, so it looks like this thing is a problem with other elements inside buttons, and I think that's the problem. So my P's, my everything. Okay, so that means I gotta change. Where my button at? I think it's in here. There you go. So you can't have these in buttons, apparently. So let's just change these to. That's right. These are going to be links anyway because I'm not doing modals anymore because I'm a lazy little bitch. But it's not. It's not lazy. It's just it made more sense. So let's do that and see if it has any repercussions. Nope, we're fine there. So I changed those to A's. Validated HTML. See, that's why we validate. Make sure everything is hunky-dory. Let's check again. Check again. Check. Waiting for Netlify to load it. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna fill these in later. So okay, HTML checker's good. And let's see, I gotta take a little break here because I gotta drop my kid off at his friend's house for a sleepover. So another quick cut and I'll be back. All right, I am back. So we left off. We just finished doing this. Now I just need to check my accessibility, and that's going to be in Lighthouse. So we're just going to check, make sure the accessibility is fine. Everything else can get fixed. So there's our problem. Okay, so we got, okay, title document, that's fine. This element in the footer has low contrast. Which one is it? It's okay, it's my website. Jeez, there we go. Okay, that's too low. Good to know. So let's get a different shade, shall we? Let's go for this, and that is going to be in root. I don't have that open here. Credit A. There you go. So 5.5. There we go. That's good. Okay, so we passed there. That's fine. Now these numbers, accessibility best practices SEO. I say it in all my videos. Any monkey can do that. Any monkey can get 100% here. Performance is where that's the hard part. So best practice is fine. Accessibility will be 100. SEO, so that'll get fixed. That'll get fixed. That'll get fixed. Which one is this? Learn more. And yeah, these don't have links yet, so that's fine. These best SEO is fine. I'll get that fixed. We do have a learn more on the contact, the link. That's the link destination. So let's find out. /contact. So where does it say learn more? I don't see it anywhere. Oh, learn more. So what is this? Bringing musical. This is in the landing. Oh, why learn more? Okay. Become a member. that's going to go to /membership. Okay, that's taken care of. So we want to have descriptive links, and then these are empty because they're not going anywhere. So basically, I'm going to be getting hundreds anyway across the board. I think the only reason I have a 98 here is because I have a cumulative layout shift. But speed index, this is all pretty accurate. This is pretty good. Well, maybe. Well, let's just refresh. I don't think I hard refreshed this, so maybe it's not. It doesn't have the extra juice that I gave it when I separated the critical CSS. Let's just see if it gets 100 in my house. Okay, it's a 99. Whatever. It's fine by me. It's cumulative layout shift, whatever. So these will eventually all be hundreds. So those are taken care of. We just had to make sure that was good. So let's push those changes. Lighthouse changes. And push. So I think that's it, honestly. So we did our QA. The page speed looks good. Lighthouse. There was no glaring issues. Just one color contrast issue that we had to fix. We did everything else. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I do with my site. It's like when you're on the spot and people are watching you, you have to tell them what you do. It's like hard to remember everything at once now. But I think that's it. Honestly, that's what I go through. Now all that's left for me to do is I have to build some registration forms with a third-party service. And then I have to get all these events and everything and some other forms put together. But otherwise, not bad. Not a bad site. Pretty happy about it. I like that we're hitting 100. We got our dark mode. Everything's working. So overall, pretty good nonprofit site here. It's not about being flashy or trying to, because I know that a lot of the like other services like frameworks or component services that give you templates, they all look like they do cloud computing services. And clients like this, their branding doesn't fit that ultra modern like techie look where everything has a border radius of like 10 pixels and a big fat spread out box shadow, and everything is just so bubbly and cute. I see that trend everywhere now, and it seems like that's where a lot of design templates go, and that's all you have access to make websites really quick. But it bothers me that there's not a lot of resources out there for like regular websites, like the charities, the traditional type of client that doesn't, like, their brand doesn't jive with those looks. So I hope this is at least inspiring, at least that you don't have to do that. You design for your client and not for a trend. Oh, I love it when this happens. This is amazing. So I just wanted to say that, at least. Don't be afraid if your website doesn't look like the most modern thing that you've seen somewhere online or on the AWW awards. These majority of your websites don't need to look like that, honestly. If you're dealing with small businesses, why are you making this like ultra modern, like $10,000 looking website when they're just a painter? It's like you don't need to go that hard. It's okay to be a little traditional but still modern. So that's just my preaching for a little bit there. Like, just, it's okay. This is, they were ecstatic about this design. They're fine with it. And at the end of the day, that's who you're making a website for. You want them to be happy, but you also want it to be usable and look good. So don't overthink it. Just make something that fits within their branding, right? So with that, I think we're all done. This has been yeah, this wasn't too bad. This wasn't a bad site. I like it. I'm happy with it. I really like what my designer put together. I think this all works. Yeah, I think this is great. This is a huge step up from what they had before. They had pretty standard WordPress sites, terrible page speed scores. So we just turned that around on them. So glad. Thanks for watching. I hope this was enlightening, or you learned something, or you feel like you might be a better developer after watching this. Hopefully, that's my goal. But yeah, I mean, we made this in about a day and a half, so that's about on par for me. Day and a half. I try to do it in a day. Yeah, 1 to 2 days for a build. So, again, thanks for watching. I am going to stop talking and making this longer. And that's not by design. I'm not trying to do it on purpose. I just been alone for like 3 days because the wife was on vacation with baby while I work with the little guy in school. So I feel like I'm talking to people right now. All right, now it's getting weird. All right, see you guys.